So we're going to take players to Rampant Ruins, which is a little bit in the game. It's going to be a spooky level. It's really a robot graveyard, taking you to sort of an ancient area where the Archeans have been. So we're first going to put on a returning favorite, Tree Rex. The show here is that the giants are back and they're bigger and better than ever. In fact, your entire collection comes forward with full compatibility. All prior toys will work in Skylanders Swap Force. And every character, including the giants, and here you can see Tree Rex with a bunch of his cool upgrades intact from prior play. His gold, his XP, all of that coming forward. And he's been totally remastered in HD. So his powers look better than ever. Really comes to life. And now, of course, we're introducing jump to all of our characters to bring all new gameplay. And with giants, you can really see that come to life with the really cool screen shake as well. Now, we're not here to just show you stuff that you've already seen. So I'm going to put on a couple of new toys. Let me start off with one of the cool new Swap Force characters. And he is called Hoot. And he is our teleporting magician owl Skylander. And flies around like this, and you know, like you might have seen before, like Night Shift, control where he teleports to, and he appears. The really cool hypnotic powers that with his hypnotic gaze. Kind of magic attacks as well that can be fully upgraded. Now, with Swap Force characters, both the top and the bottom half have independent upgrade paths and independent branching upgrade paths as well. So not only is your Skylander your own, but the upgradability and the customizability of upgrades is also pretty cool as well. Yeah. So for Hoot, he's got really cool sort of magic projectile attacks. He's got a hypnotic gaze. Nice. This stuns enemies to be hypnotized, and you can get them to do all kinds of cool things.
That's a bit like Crusher.
But like Crusher turns him to stone. Yeah. And so he'll have a different kind of effect on the enemies. So you know, it's a similar sort of immobilization technique, but his sort of has magical effects, hypnotic effects, and that kind of thing. So it really slows the enemies down. And of course, you know, especially with our gameplay around platforming and around jumping and other things like that, teleportation gives you unique abilities also. And this plays a key role in his tactical advantages as well. So let me go a little bit further down this path. And really, we take you to this sort of lush, exotic environment, and particularly spooky environment. Let's find out what he's doing. And this is one of our tree men, indigenous explorers, and he's discovered that something or some power is capturing petrified darkness. He's harnessing the petrified darkness to do very bad things. Your job is, of course, to stop that and discover what's happening in this area.
Petrified darkness.
That's right.
What does that mean?
That's actually those pink crystals, and within it,
like solidified.
Exactly. So it's been actually captured and solidified. Yeah. So the magical energy in the Cloudbreak Islands is spread by this volcano, and the magic can actually be harnessed in petrified form and turned into darkness as well. Yeah. And so that's part of the story as it develops. So we continue to follow this path. So we have all new varieties of enemies. So now I see those chompies up ahead. I want to be able to mix and match to find the right attacks to be able to deal with the swarmers that are up ahead. So I'm going to take Magna Charge's beam weapons, switch them out with Hoot. And now I have Magna Loop, who's a tech magic Swap Force character now. Let's make some quick work out of these chompies. Okay, those guys are toast. Let me quickly get through this.
Nice.
Totally new way of getting across spikes with teleportation. Okay, those Archean barrel bots pack a punch. I'm going to do another switch. I'm going to switch from Magna Charge to Blast Zone and Hoot Loop. So this would be Blast Loop. So this guy's pretty cool. I'm gonna first dodge these guys a little bit. I'm gonna have a sort of perimeter of fire to protect me from those guys approaching and toss my bombs at them. Okay. Now I want to show you something pretty cool actually, something that we haven't seen in Skylanders yet. These are dual elemental zones. So dual elemental zones are accessible by Swap Force characters that may have a combination of elements. In this case we see a magic and a fire element. So Hoot Loop is a magic character, so the loop part, the bottom part is magic, top part from Blast Zone is fire, so we have magic and fire combined. Now you can also access these in 2-player co-op as well, with an individual magic and an individual fire Skylander, or a Swap Force character and a core Skylander as well. So let's go inside. I've detected I have the combination. And here we have an area totally themed towards the two elements, fire as well as magic.
This is the elemental area, is it?
That's right, this is the dual elemental zone, fire and magic. So now you can also see some of our platforming gameplay as well. The interesting thing here for Skylanders Swap Force is the platforming was pretty cool. We have some nice hidden areas right here. Was really cool and introduced a new type of gameplay. You got to keep in mind we're very focused on our demographic of 6 to 12-year-olds. And so for platforming combining with combat, this means we have to have sort of a very, very gentle hand on how we handle jumping puzzles, how we handle traversal and that kind of thing. So the younger ones can come in, but it provides plenty of challenge for the older ones as well.
And do you still have a difficulty setting, like in Giants?
That's right, there are actually 4 difficult settings. There's easy, normal, and hard, and then if you finish the game in hard, you can unlock Nightmare Mode as well. So let's continue through here. Looks like I'll warp back here. Now there's a fellow up there that I want to get. He's been pelting me the whole time. Now the construction of this elemental zone is a good example. Now we have layered challenges. Now we have a timing element with a fire there and gold piles up at the top. So those gold piles will be available for the more advanced gamers. Of course, getting across the basic platform is a little bit more straightforward. So we really have to take great care in being able to guide our very young users and making it scale for the older ones as well.
So you see, each time you hit an enemy, you see how much damage you do pop up in a number. And
that's right, exactly. So we have damage numbers that illustrate sort of the power of your attacks and so forth, but we're also in a fire strong zone, obviously because we're in a fire and magic zone. And so the firepower of Blast Zone gets enhanced as well.
So it's fire and magic, but it only has fire there? How does that?
We only have individual power boost zones, and that's to be able to maintain clarity in terms of which areas are more powerful and so forth. Yeah. So let's go ahead and get the goodies out of this treasure chest. We found a legendary treasure here, and as you might remember from before, legendary treasures in Swap Force can be placed on pedestals within the hub, within Woodburrow, which is your home base, and they'll give you, in this case, 15 plus 15 food gain. And so players collect these legendary treasures or buy them at the store throughout the game and can customize and see what kind of chances they want. Okay. We're going to go through here, and that'll return us to the beginning of the area. All right, let's continue here. So,
do you want to swap another figure in?
Sure thing, absolutely. Actually, I want to show you one of the other combinations that we made in the process of making Blast Loop. So we have our Hypnotic Owl Charger now, Hoot Charge. So this guy is a speedster. It's actually very helpful in getting across this bridge. Bridge is going to blow up. We needed the speed to get across. Now, here I'm going to show you something we haven't seen before. So in Skylanders Swap Force, we have a new type of lockpick minigame.
Oh, nice.
We've seen the the prior types a couple times in
the sort of twisting, and it would be falling down, and you twist it around.
Actually, this one works on a different mechanic. So you have two guys, Shock and Bolt, and you have to join them together. And so this is actually playable in single player as well as co-op. So one player controls one, Shock or Bolt. You can solve the puzzle together. Now, at a very simple level, you just want to connect the two by hitting the buttons and levers and navigating your way through the puzzle. But to add an additional layer to this, we have the green bolt that Bolt needs to get, and the blue bolt that Shock needs to get.
Okay.
And so that's an additional layer of completion that you can add to this as well. He's going to get his. And now I'm going to move this fellow over and raise his platform. Now, both of them have their thing. There you have it. We got all three bolts. And this puzzle starts in a very simple configuration and scales to all kinds of different combinations, different types of new elements that are introduced throughout the game. So really some interesting new variety. That's going to give us a new level-specific collectible, in this case, Grave Monkey Totems. And those are interspersed with
this character's attacks while we're here.
Absolutely. So let me get you to Spot.
This is a swapped up character, isn't it?
This is a swapped up character. So Magna Charge, I think you've seen.
Yeah. He
actually collects items. And then Hoot Loop's hypnotic powers. But let me take you ahead to what we have here. I'm going to switch up to one of our core characters next. So the Petrified Darkness is actually being used to change the kind of nice creatures in the Skylands to evil versions of them, and you have to convert them back. So I'm going to switch it up a little bit here. Let's go to Grim Streaker, one of our new Lightcore characters. He's undead type. Grim Creeper. I'm going to leave his body. There I can create actually a pattern where I can chain attacks. If I intersect with him, come back here, he's going to attack this fellow and then join my the armor is going to follow my path, attack him, and then join me. Here I have two guys. Now I can chain my attacks. Now his powers, yeah, really cool like spin abilities and that kind of thing. He can throw his scythe, but the really cool thing is he can leave his body and chain his attack. So he can tag each enemy and it'll attack them in sequence. Now we had a simple version. We had our first introduction to the Evil Eye Sugar Bats, and now we have, well, a bigger situation to handle. So I'm going to look at this and say, what's the optimal way of getting through this? So let's try a couple different guys for this. I'm going to switch over to Star Strike.
Okay.
You know, also one of our new Lightcore characters. Get in here, and it looks like there's actually a swarm of these guys. Now, her attacks are pretty cool, but it looks like I need a different way of dealing with the dive bombing sugar bats. So I'm going to put on Blast Loop again. Actually, his teleportation ability is going to give me the ability to dodge the attacks. I can really look at their patterns and get around. Now I've stunned him. Okay, now he's turned into his cute old self. Okay. Looks like we made quick work of those guys. Okay, so now we're gonna take Washbuckler because we're coming up on a climb zone. This is something that you guys may not have seen yet. And that's a new type of swap zone. Now here we have Blast Luke. He's not going to be able to get in to this place. Now each of these types of Swap Force zones exists in the Cloudbreak Islands. They supercharge the movement ability of that Swap Force character, their bottom half ability. You can recognize them in this case, it's a climb zone because of the ladder. So let's do something fun and create Blast Buckler. So Blast Buckler, let's get him in. And this reveals a whole new type of gameplay that's new to Skylanders. In addition to our elemental zones, the single as well as the dual elemental zones, we have 8 different Swap Force zone types, this one being the climb, and each one has a unique new type of play pattern. In this case, what I'm doing is using Blast Buckler's octopus suction cups as a climbing capability to scale this wall, and I'm dodging the hazards that come down. And actually, what I'm chasing here is kind of a winged coin, winged token that'll give me extra bonus coins as well. So I got through the first area of that, and these zones are really designed where anybody can get in and have a lot of fun and get the basic rewards, but it actually takes a level of challenge and skill to be able to make it through all 3 tiers of each zone. So it's really designed with replay in mind. Now the rockets are coming in. Gonna dodge those as well as get the coins.
With the starter pack, you have access to 2 of the 8 sub-games, is that right?
Yeah, exactly. So for the starter pack, it comes with Washbuckler and Blast Zone, so you can have the rocket type zones as well as a climbing type zones in the starter pack. In addition, we try to give you a number of elemental access points as well, so you get water, fire, and life, because Ninja Stealth Elf is the 3rd starter pack character. Of course, one of the really cool things is because so many of the players will be bringing forward their old collections, each of the elemental zones features, sort of novel new gameplay that people haven't seen before as well. Looks like I'm getting rather hosed here. Okay, I'm going to focus and get through this. Okay, all right. There we go. So what's really cool about this type of experience is not only the experience, but the reward that we give the player for it. Looks like I got the 3 wing tokens. Let's see what's inside this gift box. Now we ripped apart that present box. We've got a bonus mission. So Skylanders Swap Force has the core gameplay, which is about the same as Spyro's Adventure as well as Giant's really enormous story to play through. In addition to all the elemental zones, the new swap zones, but also 20 bonus missions that have novel new kind of gameplay as well as new objectives that the players can play. And they can launch those from Woodborough, the game's hub, in a unique manner as well.
So, I mean, it seems like that's the sort of gameplay that previously you got in an adventure pack, but here we're getting it for free.
Well, actually, this is a different kind of gameplay than an adventure pack. An adventure pack is, we do have 2 new adventure packs for Skylanders Swap Force. I actually don't know if we've announced the actual adventure packs at this point, but we have 2 new adventure packs that are coming for Skylanders Swap Force, but the bonus missions are in addition to that. So we just finished our climb zone with Blast Buckler, and I'm going to switch out to one of my favorite core Skylanders. And he's a tech Skylander called Countdown. He's a pretty cool guy. He's a fun little fellow. He runs around with a bomb for a head. He can charge this thing up and really blow his top.
So you can tap it, can you, just to throw it?
You actually hold it and charge it in this case, and then launch and aim. Otherwise, you can keep launching and aiming. He'll do less damage for that. This is a real risk reward there. If you do the quick damages, you'll get less damage. If you do the charge up, well, of course, you're vulnerable during that period of time, but you get more damage that you can do as well. Of course, he's got his rocket arms. Really funny when it jumps.
Yeah, I think Countdown was one of the first figures we were shown.
Yeah. I don't know if you've seen this power though. You can upgrade and pop out little baby bombs as well.
But then blow up.
And then they'll track the enemies and blow up. So let's go through some more of our puzzling here.
I like the way the blocks are much more animated.
That's right, yeah. I'm trying to really put personality in every element of the environment here. So all the grass is moving, the environment is really alive, blocks are animated. Just even sort of everything is dynamically lit, so it looks native to this environment. With the totally remastered engine that we use for Skylanders Swap Force, we have hundreds and hundreds of lights that are in the environment. Here's a new type of environmental puzzle. It's a monkey clock puzzle, and by timing it right, you can open gates. We're about to go into a new type of battle arena now. So let's get through these spikes. You can see a couple of new types of enemies we haven't seen before. So these guys are spinner Archeans. I'm going to stay away from them while they're spinning. They're really quite vulnerable when they're not.
So you're working with the same sort of basic set of enemies as we've seen in Giants?
So
Spyros, or
we have
all new?
Well, we have we have range, melee, spinners. We have a number of heavy types. You'll see a lot of variety in terms of the types of attacks that they do and the impact that they have. But we have a couple of new classes as well of enemies. So the key thing that we try to do is make sure that the game is well balanced for the variety of the entire existing collection, and then with each game we can add new layers on top of that. So you're going to see all new enemy types. So you won't see the same guys in Skylanders Swap Force, but they may be in similar classes, so they can give you a really good offering for your existing collection. And then new types that you want to use some of the new guys for as well. Let's keep going down here. And I'm going to show you a speed zone up here. Before we get that, we have one of our new shield guys. Shield enemy types is a new classic character for Swap Force. So I need a little speed to take these guys out. The shield guys are heavy, they're strong, they're not so quick. Let's use Rollerball to take them out pretty quickly.
Like little winks, he comes on.
Yeah. Every bit of personality that we can sneak in.
So these guys, when the shields are spinning, you can't damage them, is that right?
Exactly. When the shields are spinning, that indicates that they're invulnerable. So let's go forward with this. And now we have a Swap Force zone that's a speeder zone. So of course, what do we need for that? We need Magna Charge's legs. Let's see if we can find them. Where'd they go? Oh, here they are. So they're on Hoot charge right now. It's a totally new zone that emphasizes speed.
So with these games, does it make a difference what top half you've got on?
With the swap zones, it's all about the bottom half, power.
But you still see the top the character's got is top the top.
That's right, that's right. So we want to make sure that the character stays true to what you customize. At the same time, the swap zone is all about how you move. And so if you have a teleporter type, whatever top half you have, it'll be a teleport zone. Likewise here, we're looking at a speed zone. Really give an incredible sense of moving, balancing the boost as well as hazard avoidance, doing these kind of really cool jumps as well. Like what you'll see is similar to the climb zone, start off with a relatively easier sequence and then moving to more advanced types of speed experiences. So now the hazards are a little bit trickier, a little bit more dodging. So if you pick up speed all the time, I mean you have to be that much more skilled as well. There we go.
Nice work.
Yeah. So those are just a couple of the new swap zones that we're showing in this level. Looks like I only picked up 2 coins that time. Let's see what I get in the gift box this time. Each time, little type of surprise. So in this case, we got another legendary treasure. So this one is a major reward monkey. It's different than the level collectible that we picked up. He's going to give me 10 plus more luck if I place him on a pedestal in our hub.
In the game? Does that change how the game mechanics work?
What it'll do is it'll change the prospects for the loot that you get. You know, sort of food drops and other things like that, coin drops and that kind of thing, XP drops and so forth as well.
Is it just for this character, or is that for the players sort of same?
So those legendary treasures can be placed on pedestals inside the hub world, and so that will affect the game regardless of character. So unlike hats, which are worn on a per character basis and boost your stats, legendary treasures affects everything across the board.
And I think was there a similar mechanic in Giants, where there was some sort of slot machine computer?
Exactly. So this is very similar to the Luckertron in Giants.
Yeah, that's it.
So it's kind of a variant on Luckertron, except we do a bunch of different types of legendary treasures.
Yeah.
So we have some more flexibility in the types of power-ups that we can give you. Here that really the remastered characters really come alive in a pretty cool way. Let me...
And so the on-screen Spyro there matches quite closely the actual toy with his big horn.
That's right, yeah.
Because you purchased the Wow Pow, or does it look like that anyway?
Actually, in this case, the Wow Pow bolt-on, the actual Wow Pow image becomes available for the Series 3 once you unlock a Wow Pow power. So in this toy, we've actually already done the unlocks.
Right.
You know, on the Wow Pow power.
This is a Spyro
so you can see the Wow Pow on the toy, but you'll need to upgrade through, you know, the game to be able to unlock the Wow Pow at the end of the upgrade tree. So of course he's got really cool fire powers, fire and magic combined. He's got a really very cool looking flying capability. Bring it back up. Take the he's got a really cool ground pound when he does that too.
Great, so I think we've been through pretty much all the characters we've got here at E3 now.
Yep, we've been through all the toys that we're showing at E3. Really cool assortment of Lightcore characters, as well as new core Skylanders, a bunch of new swap force and swap combinations that we tried out. We looked at the level called Rampant Ruins, which is a really spooky robot graveyard where we took a look at some of the sites of Archean's past. And we explored an adventure where forces of chaos were capturing petrified darkness. And you have to kind of, at the end of this level, really find out what's going on in this plot. It's a big reveal moment for the bigger items in the story.
And so does this level come quite close to the beginning of the game, or?
This level is a few hours into the story, actually, when you find this out.
Yeah.
So
great.
Plenty of story to explore in Skylanders Swap Force.
Cool, well thanks for your time. Really appreciate that.
Thank you very much, Andy.
And I'm going to have a bit of play myself now.
Okay, sounds good.